Jim,
Here.
Mark,
Here.
Gary,
Yep.
Dylan,
Here.
Tim,
Yep.
Alan, here, Matt.
Here. All right. Approval of agenda. Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, public forum, persons asking to speak to the board, reasonable amount of time not to exceed 5 minutes. Let's see. All right, so Stan and Jackie. Oh, Dan? Is it Dan? Okay. Oh, yeah, there we go. All right, Dan and Jackie, come on up. State your name and where you live.
My name is Daniel Mulvey. I live at 725 Division Street, 728. And I'm here because of concerns of the sidewalk in front of the house. It's like 80% gone and like 20% of it is sticking up out of the ground. And I want to know if the village can abandon that sidewalk and move some of that sidewalk out of there.
Okay. I'm assuming you must know a little bit of something about this.
Jim came over and looked at it.
Okay.
Pretty much.
All right, yeah, we'll have to talk with Jim and then we'll have to get a plan together and we'll have to give you a call and let you know what we're gonna do. I guess I need to know a few more details about what's going on with it and then, if we can just give you a phone call maybe tomorrow or something.
Sure.
And we'll get some sort of a game plan for you. Okay?
All right.
Do we have your phone number? Yeah, we got your phone number, so.
All right.
All right, sir.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so. Let me just do my list here. All right, ambits.
My name is Charles Vanderford. I'm the finance officer for the Ambets Post 13 here in Redgranite. With me is our commander, Bob Rody. What we are asking for is a donation for flags. We put out approximately 375 flags just alone in Redgranite at Foster, St. Mark's, and Marion. They go out just before Memorial Day. We pick them up at Labor Day. They do take a beating with the weather conditions. And we thought possibly we could get some help out of you to purchase some new flags. And if so, maybe you could make that donation in reference to Mr. Snipe, who was a longtime employee with y'all and a past naval veteran. Bob, is there anything you have to add?
Say Bob Rody, Vets 13 Commander. We also provide the one for the fire department, which runs over $350 for us. And we provide the flag for the senior center also. So we stick a lot just in that besides our other stuff we got going on.
Okay. Is there a certain time frame that you're looking for this donation or anything like that?
Last year.
Last year, huh?
It's up to the board, of course, when you vote on it. The
Okay,
sooner the better, because we do need the flags.
okay,
They take quite a beating on them.
all right,
We get 1 year out of it, one summer.
okay. Well, obviously, we can't make any decisions on it right this minute, but we will get something figured out here and we'll let you guys know as soon as we possibly can, okay?
Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you guys too. Thanks for your helping out. Okay, Lori Hernandez?
Hi.
Hi there. Come on up, say your name. Thank you.
I live in Red Granite. I'm here to support Jeannie with, for the library. I hope that you're willing to listen to details and help with the focus group on a grant for the library and the civic center that they're eligible for, those two places. It's a new grant just released the end of April this year, and the deadline to apply is the first week of July, so that's pretty soon. It's a fast response grant. We have a chance to really improve our library, our downtown area, and help meet some of the quarry assessed needs that I've heard about. The grant doesn't require matching funds. we could possibly get a couple $1 million. The total is 4.5, I think, right? After hearing our library director's vision, which is Jeannie, and potential options for this grant, I'm excited about the wonderful opportunity, an opportunity that I hope will be supported by the trustees and the citizens of Redgranite and surrounding community. And Jeannie will talk about that tonight.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you. Nikki?
That's me. Hi, everybody. I am about 10 months new to Redgranite, and I live in the mobile home community next to the Quick Trip. And it needs some prodding because there's a lot of unkempt yards and unkempt lawns and utility trailers full of like garbage that have been there for months. I just kind of want to have a little bit of direction. Took photos I could share if someone wants to send me their email. I'd be happy to share those. The park manager's been contacted. She's off-site. She's never at our facility, so it's unmanned. The office is unmanned, and I've emailed her, and I know there's been a couple other residents that have emailed her as well, and we just don't get anything other than it'll be addressed, and it doesn't get addressed.
Is she in Colorado?
No, Jennifer is her name. She's in the Oshkosh. The community that owns, or the company that owns the park, has a couple other ones too. And the park manager is in Oshkosh. So we're just struggling a little bit to kind of get some things kind of resolved and taken care of.
Okay.
So that's it.
All right, appreciate it, thank you. Dina?
I didn't know why I was signing my name on there. But I do want to say I moved to Redgranite about 5 years ago, and I'm interested in getting very involved. I work in Watoma and at the Aurora Clinic, and I hear a lot of people say that Redgranite is boring. There's nothing going on. There's nothing for the kids. And I would like to, I'll sit with people and come up with ideas and do fundraising and do whatever I have to. I did fundraising in Iowa for years when my kids were there, and I'm willing to help out wherever.
That's great. We've got a lot of opportunities that we're trying to put together, like the quarry and the library stuff and a bunch of other things that we're talking about doing, so.
I second that too.
If you guys have any interest, leave your email with Becky and we can put you on like our quarry committee email list and stuff like that, so you guys know when the meetings are and the different things that we're doing. We got some big plans coming up for the quarry if we can get them put together. And it's gonna be something
I would love to help.
pretty interesting, so. Yeah, like I said, just if you have a minute before the end of the meeting or whatever, put your name and stuff down over there, and that way we can send you guys emails.
Have you guys discussed anything about the park that's at the end of Maple Street? Do they do anything with that? Yeah.
What's that, Ellen?
Willow Creek Park.
Oh, Willow Creek, yeah. We got some things going on down there.
I know like on Labor Day you do, but you know, there's so many sports activities for youth kids. Couldn't we offer that to like for youth softball, youth baseball?
And that's exactly what we're
flag
looking,
football,
yeah,
And
that's
then get
exactly what
vending
we're looking
machines
for.
down there.
Yeah, we're looking for ideas, so like I said, if you got ideas, we're willing to, listen and see what we can come up with, and we want people to get more involved. I don't know if you guys knew, we got the gardens down here now.
Mhm.
We're trying to get people to be a community, do things together, share things, and that's one of the reasons why we got the garden going. We're hoping that people are gonna share some food amongst one another and make friends with one another. So that's what we wanna do. We wanna try and make this a community where we all get together and do things and help each
The
other.
hardest part's getting people to put their phones down.
That's a bit, yeah. So,
Is there
yeah.
any way we can set up like an association,
Well, the quarry committee would.
Yeah, we have a quarry committee that
like an adopt a highway thing where people can adopt a park?
I imagine we could do something like that, but that's where people like yourselves need to get involved and try and help, because we, as the board, can only do so much, and a lot of us are on several committees and helping do all different kinds of things. The employees from the village are donating their time constantly to try and do stuff, so that's why we need the people from the community to get more involved. It's nice to see people sitting in front of us for a change. I mean, most of the time, most of these seats are empty, so.
It's usually just Jeannie.
I watch you guys on Facebook.
And
But
that's
you don't
actually,
hear me when I'm talking to you.
that's actually been a very good positive thing. Jeannie and I talked about it and came up with the idea, and she's been telling me how the numbers are, and actually it's gotten a lot more people involved, I think, so hopefully it works out. So, all right, well, thank you very much. Alrighty, so then we're gonna move on here. All right, I'm sorry, approval of regular minutes, regular board meeting of April 15th.
Motion approved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Report, clerk?
I don't have anything.
Basically, I already said everything I was gonna. I wanted to tell everybody that we're starting to get the Corey committee back up and going. We got a survey, company that's gonna come out and do some surveying so that we can start laying out some, better trails and make them handicap accessible. Jeannie's working on some, story trail stuff, and we're gonna try and get some history stuff going up there to let people know what that quarry was all about. I don't know how familiar you folks are with, Redgranite history, but Redgranite used to be a metropolis at one time. It used to have railroads and hotels and all kinds of stuff rolling through here. A lot of this quarry, these stones in this quarry ended up over in Europe on streets and are still there to this day. So we wanna try and get that stuff going. I remember when I was a kid in the 70s, there used to be, carnivals and everything for Labor Day, and I want to see some of that stuff come back. I don't know that we'll ever get it back as big as it used to, but maybe we can bring back a little bit of that life and try and get that family feeling back here in this community. I think it would be great. So I guess that's kind of where I'm at with that. So then,
We have a board meeting on the 29th of this month
yeah,
at 6 o'clock. So if you want to come on down,
yeah, right
it's
here.
here, 6 o'clock, Wednesday.
Yeah, and like I said, all you need to do is just leave your email with Becky and we'll make sure you guys get on the list so that you can know what's going on, all right? All right, so then finance, personnel, and insurance.
You ready?
Yep.
Motion to approve check 273 through 1560, the amount of $280,413.77. Checks 20 through 1740 on water fund in the amount of $12,248.48. The sewer checks 80 through 971, amount of $1,949. And then payroll checks 381 through 412 and 384 through 427 in the amount of $50,328.53, grand total of $344,947.
Motion to approve the bills.
All in favor? Opposed? All right. Approval, acceptance of Gina Samaski's resignation letter as deputy clerk.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Library, monthly update.
Hey, I'd like to thank the Friends of the Library. They worked hard a couple weeks ago, last week, weekend before, on an estate sale, out by Pearl Lake, and the proceeds were donated to the library after expenses. So a couple ladies worked very, very hard for a whole weekend, putting all that stuff together prior and after. So that's one of the areas that we're also trying to raise money for the library, kind of thinking out of the box. Being who's the president of the Friends was very much involved with that. With those monies, those are the things that they're buying the little libraries for, the storyboards for, our garden area, things in the library that we don't ask, like kids carving and stuff like that. So we're very excited about that. We're getting ready to also do some fundraising at our our community market on Saturday, which starts June 1st. So we've already gotten a commitment of the Civic Center, who will do monthly raisings like on the third Saturday of the month there, to fundraise for them. We're going to be trying to fundraise for the quarry as well. We've got some vendors lined up. Things are looking pretty good. So we're hoping, we're already growing from last year. We're hoping to grow even more this year. So if you know anybody out there that wants to sell some of their craft or artists, it's free. And so they can contact the library and get a space. We're trying to have open music there, of course, 8 a.m. Tai Chi. That's totally beneficial for everybody of all ages. So that's really good. We're hoping in that whatever I need to do through you to approve the AMVET sign, to continue that being out there this summer to advertise for the community market. They say it's okay. I think they're going to do an official vote, and the only caveat is that we have to use our own letters, which we still do. Let's see, our CERC is still up 45%. Our summer reading program is going to start the day after Memorial Day. That's pretty intense for me right now. We're doing a lot of stuff for that. It's going to be pretty exciting. We got the boards up in Lowerville. We'll see how they hold up in the weather tomorrow, tomorrow night. That'll be interesting. So we're starting to put the content in it. I have stuff marked up at the quarry. I just need advice. The parks guy installed them there in Lowerville because I don't really have the aptitude to do it, but I can. But I just need some kind of guidance on that. Let's see, the grant that kind of came in hot and heavy. There's two grants that I'm applying for. One is to increase our internet speed to 100 download upload. In addition to that, that's one of the requirements that we will have, and it's already in effect, to look at this I'm saying $2 million budget renovation thing of the library, including the Civic Center. I'm thinking historical center. I'm thinking youth. It comes into all of those categories. It's $2 million that I thought the ask was originally, but it's really, we can apply to 4.7. That's non-matching funds. We are in the honeypot of being able to get those funds. We have to move on quickly. So what I'm envisioning, I don't know if that's what you guys would envision, but I definitely see something out in the quarry. It will also cover the cost of buying property. So this is an opportunity for us to really build that area, and it would address one of the big things I see is an outdoor pavilion for wedding, and then that brings in revenue to your building. I see outdoor bathrooms that would support 500 people on a busy hot day, that would also help the businesses feel that pressure be relieved. So there's a lot of potential. I'm not sure, like, if any of you want to have input, but we're gonna try and do it on Tuesday at 4. I guess I just need your blessing to say this is a good idea or not, or where else you would think. We could add on to this building, that would qualify. But I think that if you utilize this opportunity, that would give you a lot of flexibility to solve some of our solutions here in town. Anyway,
You said your meeting's Tuesday at what time?
Tuesday, 4 o'clock. We're gonna meet over the next couple of weeks because we really only have 4 weeks to get this out. So the surveys would be pretty instrumental. But just think what you could do with $2 million or 4.7.
Is it at the library then?
Is this grant wrote for the library?
It's for the community, but it has to be a library. It's the first ever of ARPA grants that are given to libraries. And if we can marry in other of our community assets into this that are struggling, by the way, the Civic Center, please pay your dues if you have not. But then we're in one house and we're not duplicating services and
And
we're
this is
saving
ARPA
resources.
through the state?
But it is just specifically for libraries.
This is something that we have the library involved, but we can show greater use in the community.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
So anyway, that's what I have. Any other questions on it? I put a link to some of you. I'll send in you guys more. I've already been working on the data, the internet grant, so that's gonna complement this, but think of what we can do. I heard you guys up here saying you wanna get involved. It seems like this would be a gold mine and we'd be full, and if we don't do it, somebody else will.
Okay.
I have a question, Jeannie.
Yeah.
As far as communities or people in the area that use the library, what's your breakdown?
Yeah.
Town of Marion, town of Leon, Village of Laurinville,
Right.
town of Warren.
I have all that broken down. It is.
Have you brought this grant information to them and to the library board so they realize the financial impact?
Yes.
So
The
they're aware of
the library board, since I've started, has been talking about expansion the minute I walked in the door. So it's been on,
Okay.
it's been a problem I've been past.
Okay, have you contacted or been at meetings for the Village of Laurinville, the town of Marion, the town of Mount Morris? What are their thoughts about it?
So I just found out about this grant 2 weeks ago, and I was not able to get on the agenda for Laurinville other than to record their village meetings. So I'm recording their village meetings. So I'm working very closely with all those townships. I do have a breakdown of South Public Library, and I can provide you and everyone a link. It's on the website.
Okay,
But it's also in our annual report and all that stuff. So it's in multiple places. We are going way up in our use. And most of our use is coming from.
so it's more village than it is really the townships, because I think Watoma's doing something as well with their library. I don't know if you could coordinate with them and make.
So they're not applying for this yet, but Hancock.
Oh, Hancock, yeah, I understand there. Okay,
And all of the libraries in the state that are currently in construction are not eligible for this. So, yes, it will be an impact, but I see it as actually a revenue source that we're not tapping into right now. Plus, it's consolidating services. So, and that's exactly what the state's looking for.
okay. And as far as initial funding, I mean, you said there's no match, but there will have to be studies done prior to.
Some of them are studies too.
Okay,
that-
and how are you gonna fund the cost of those
So those
studies?
are refundable, and we have money set aside.
Do you have money? Otherwise, talking to the townships and give them the idea that you're gonna need some money to get this ship sailing.
So,
See what they can
yeah,
relinquish.
Correct.
Just do with that.
so I just also went for the county funding for library services through the, Washara County. As I've been harping at, we're only getting a $550 increase. So the library system, our 8 libraries came together with a proposal for Washara County to come up with $24,000 in addition to that fund that would be divided between the 8 libraries, so $3,000. That was not super receptive at all. What I was told by John Jarvis was we need to do better about trying to get legacies from people who want to leave us something in their will. So that's my, but I'm trying to do that. And what I need to do is respond to him and demonstrate exactly what we have done. And
Okay.
we've done.
Well, I'm assuming if anybody has any more questions or anything, we can get this all kind of dialed in on Tuesday, so I suggest if anybody has any interest or anything, let's be at the library and see what we can do. It sounds like it could possibly be something that might be a big thing.
Sorry.
All right, so we're gonna move on to, machinery, garbage and ordinances, Gary.
Okay, monthly update, Jim.
Don't have any.
Okay. Been easy. Number 2, consider act on purchase of a high pressure sprayer in the amount of $1,400.
Well, we tape our,
We voted that down to buy the pressure washer until we discussed about having the steam cleaner. And, steam cleaners now $545,000. And to be honest with you, I have no place to put it in the shop. I don't have any room at all. And I talked to Jim a little bit about it. And if we ever do get the public works building, we can always sell it when we can afford to buy a steam cleaner. But at this time, as far as the cost, and I have no room whatsoever in the shop. And we don't have one, and I've been using mine. I think it's the only best alternative we have.
What do you mainly use the steam or the high pressure washer for?
For equipment, for the park, the shelter floors, for graffiti, and when people spill stuff from everything.
A motion to approve the sprayers. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Money will be coming out of. Opposed? Money will be coming out of my, All right, municipal buildings, Tim, there's nothing on there. You have anything you need to say, or?
Unless you got a money tree sitting somewhere.
Ain't found it yet, but. Park Cemetery, Ellen.
Monthly update?
So the garden beds, I think we have a total, Becky, of like 8 rented. And, I pretty much, somebody stopped in there from, Pearl Lake. And he's from Illinois, but he comes up here all summer long, and he says he likes to donate his things, and asked if he could have a garden. And to me, at this time, if people want to, I don't care where they're from, because it's better than letting weeds grow in them. So, and that's, $20, right? So, so I told him, I don't know if he stopped down today or not, but I told him, yeah, go ahead. If somebody wants 2 beds, they can have 2 beds. We got 13 of them, ready to go. We can get another 2 ready in a couple of days if that happens. So hopefully that's okay with the board if we let other people use them also. The weeds are just coming up, and I just assume to see somebody use them versus not. So far, the garden beds, and that's with everything. Julie and I planted 3 trees out there yesterday. So far, the total is $4,551.01. So we're seeing, if we have to get another load of, that's another $500. That's right. A little bit over $5,000. But hopefully that won't be till next year. So. In the cemetery, I had the county come in and we cut the road in. And I laid down 1.5 inch, limestone, and I'm gonna follow up with that probably next month, 3/4 to finish it off. Mike wanted that new driveway put in, so we got that much done, and this driveway, we're just gonna finish it off next month with 3/4 limestone. And then I like to make a comment on what Jeannie said about that sign out in the park. We work very hard keeping these parks looking as good as we can. The trees have been kicking our butts like you won't believe. We can't keep up with all these dead trees. And we're gonna be planting trees this summer, and I want these parks to look beautiful. I do not want that sign up there. When that sign is done for the chicken barbecue, I'm gonna out of there. We have enough billboards around on buildings and things like that, and then the grass grows in between there, you have to weed. It's just a whole trailer with a sign, and I don't want that on there. Gene, you wanted to have it, you said you were gonna have a digital board put out there 1.5 years ago, and we haven't seen it.
I can't get digital board until I'm powered to the sign, that's where.
You didn't know about the power until last month, that there was no power out there.
I've been waiting.
And that was 1.5 years when we talked about it. And I can get you power out there in a week. Okay, but I do not want that out there. That just looks terrible.
That's fine. I'm just trying to advertise for the market.
When you get
I'm
that,
not trying to-
Gene and I are gonna dig that in.
Yeah, and that's fine.
And then you'll see that board. Okay.
Well.
And along with the flower pots.
Okay, so we put a flower.
Why don't we discuss this either after or. That's fine. Or tomorrow, but this sounds like something that needs to be kind of figured out, not discussed right now.
I just don't want.
Okay, I get it,
things littered
Jim.
up in the-
I get it.
that's
I get
all.
where you're coming from.
Okay, thank
So
you.
let's talk about it tomorrow or after the meeting and let's move on, okay?
Absolutely.
All right. Any other updates then?
That will be it. Thank you.
Consider act on approval of invoice from Chris Tree Trimming in the amount of $2,450.
We cut down 14 trees in the park this year and 2 on one on, I can't think factory, the other one on Horn. We had over 14, I think 15 stumps to grind. So this is what the total was.
Motion to approve item number 2 under Parks and Cemetery.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Opposed?
Discuss, consider act on the use of ARPA funds for the purchase of playground equipment in the parks.
We were sitting pretty good still on our funds. Yeah, can I just say one thing quick? I would like to table that until I have my Parks Committee meeting, until we do a walkthrough. And then we can discuss the whole park equipment. I think I'd feel better if we could just have a Parks Committee meeting like we planned and discuss a lot of things and then we can go forward.
Okay, so we're gonna postpone this till after the Parks Committee meeting? Is everybody okay with that?
Consider act on placement of AMVET's chicken barbecue sign for Memorial Day.
It's already. All right. Motion to leave it where it's at.
Is that okay?
That's
or-
right. Yep. They do every year.
Yeah, Gary caught me the other day about it and he's like, man, I can't hardly get down here. And I'm like, then just put it out and we'll get it taken care of.
No, where they put it is fine. That's normally where they put it every year. So that's-
Okay, so motion to approve. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
I'll make the motion to approve. Second. There you go. Oh, Dylan already has it.
All right. Set date and time for next Parks Committee meeting.
It's already set.
Oh, here, hold on. Oh, yeah, okay, so we got that, yep. So when is it set?
You have to step on. Oh, right. No, and Gary, whatever. I am not, I'll be gone Monday, Tuesday, and Friday of this week and Monday, Tuesday next week, so anytime after that. Anytime you want, I don't care. I work until 4 in the afternoon, so if you wanted to meet at 4 down here at Village Hall, we could do that on a certain day or later, that's fine, whatever works for you.
I'm free all next week.
I pretty much am too. He's gone Monday and Tuesday and Friday. Use the 30th.
That's good for me.
Oh, we have court. Otherwise, you got the court
Oh,
committee on the
yeah.
29th. You can do it before or after, probably before.
I'm good with that too.
You could do it during the day too. And then he doesn't have to stay after.
Whatever works for you.
So the 29th, do you have a time?
I'm
How
free all
much
day.
time are you thinking to go through all the parks?
Oh, an hour and a half.
2:30?
Sure. 2:30 on the 29th?
Yes. That works for everybody else.
Thank you.
We're all good with that? Well, all right, moving on, police and fire.
Yeah. Okay, well, they're gonna be testing hoses here coming up June 3rd, and they're gonna be closing the entrance to the parking lot up over here and by Elmer's. And we need to give them permission to do this. So I'll need somebody to make a motion to approve closure.
Motion to approve the closing of the street for fire test.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay. They got their new fire saw in operation. And they also got their repeater system installed for the fire department. So that's about it for the fire department. You got anything else, Jeff?
Sorry, I was talking to you.
We got the full approval for the hose,
Okay, post testing.
hose testing done, so we'll get the letter sent out to the businesses. They're not actually gonna get closed, so, okay,
I'll have the barricades for them,
all right.
so
Okay, yeah, I see that you borrow the barricades.
no problem.
All right, anything else then?
Really, 2 trucks are in the build process, waiting for it to be done.
Didn't see the water shooting out over the quarry the other night.
What's that?
There was neat to watch the water shooting out over the quarry the other night.
Yeah, they were training the other night.
It was neat.
All right, Al, you got your update ready to go?
Oh, yeah, you got some time?
Well, we always have time.
So, Bree and I have completed our 24-hour in-service training for the 2023 training year for the state. We'll be sending in for reimbursement. I think we're up to $230 this year. We've completed our BOLA training on the 17th of April. Bree and I both completed it. We are both certified in use of, and we are certified instructors for the BOLA wrap. On the next day, on the 18th, we did our annual firearms training. We both completed that, so we're done with that. So that is completed. I have applied for a bulletproof vest grant that just opened up from the Department of Justice. We need a vest for Matt and go to the service. And also Bree and my vests are going to expire at the end of this year for service. So I'll be applying for 3 bulletproof vests. Total, the price has gone up, on your hand, $1,400 per vest. The last vest we got were $995, so it went up over $500. That was during COVID, so we applied and we got a hardship on our grant where the federal government paid for the total cost of the grants. We applied this year, they restricted it now to $900 per vest. That is the allowance, and they'll only pay for half, so they'll only pay for $150 per vest. So we gotta come up with about $1,000 a vest. So, I really didn't have it budgeted because we did not foresee hiring Matt Tuck for the first year, plus, we're going to have to order the vest this year to get them in the grant this year. But as far as funding goes, we do have the money coming in from the state, from the prison, so we should have adequate funds, even though we budgeted. We should have the income coming in from the prison to cover the costs. So, we were measured 2 weeks ago on the vest, and they're back ordered, so probably July we'll end up getting the vest, sounds like. Security trailer updates. Mr. Chapman from IDT was out in California. And I was not available Wednesday. So I'm going to reschedule with Jason, our IT person, and Mr. Chapman to get the SIM card hooked up and get the trailer online and running. I think before we put it up in a quarry, we might stick it around town here and kind of run some testing on it. Making sure everything's working out okay and hopefully get it up to the quarry, as soon as we can. I did contact, Tony Chemnitz from the state. Looks like in late June, July, they'll have to do the speed, study out east of town, kind of by Dollar General curve in. We could put the speed trailer out there, but get people kind of slow down. He says, yeah, that would be fine, and then he'll let us know when we need to pull the trailer and relocate it. So So I hope to get that out sometime this week. We have the parade on Monday, Memorial Day Parade. I'd like to extend, thanks to members of the, Redgranite Fire Department for assisting us in traffic detail. We're short people, so, we even have Kim, our secretary, coming in, and she's gonna be directing traffic for us, so, I'd like to extend a thanks to them. The municipal court is now closed. Everything was closed as of the end of April. Notices were sent out to people that have outstanding citations. Looking at trying to go to collections with those. Most of them are aged citations. So the amount of money we put in to try to collect on them, chances are we're not gonna get money back, so we're just gonna be throwing money into the wind. And I think we'll just be better off just letting those go. Since the court no longer, we're in the court's authority, people that had their driver's licenses suspended for non-payment, Gail has sent the state notices to unsuspend their license because the court, we're no longer part of the court, so they don't have authority to suspend the licenses. So that was taken care of, and I believe it was last week or 2 weeks ago, Becky, Gail did stop by with all the paperwork that we have accumulated over the 12 years that we've been in the courts. It is now in Becky's storage. So we have all the files for that. Our first circuit court date is going to be June 3rd, 2024 at 1:30 p.m. at the new government center. It is open, was open as of last Monday. I invite you all to go there, take a peek. If you've got time, stop in. Your tax dollars were spent on and just take a look. It looks impressive. It's a nice update. I haven't been up there yet myself, but I understand they still have some wrinkles they're trying to iron out the building, but hopefully, it'll serve the county and the citizens of the county well for the next 50 years. Ordinance violations, we've sent out notices to people to get their junk cleaned up. We have probably about 75% compliance. We do have a few that are not in compliance. I'm gonna be working with Justin Zandali. I would like to start, probably in July. We still have problems with people not getting their junk cleaned up. We start abatement process. We started in July. They finally filed in court paperwork that I had Dan working on last August. And they finally got the paperwork filed in the court last week. So I expect better performance from them to get this done. So that's why I'm gonna get started probably July. I've sent out my second round of citations. So they've been all sent warnings. If they comply, we clear them out. If they don't, we have to send them citation. I'm going around, this is the second round of citations. I'm only gonna send 2 rounds out, and if they don't comply, then we'll start the abatement process. So, that's my plan with that. Matt is about halfway through with his schooling. He is off this coming weekend, so, he's gonna be riding with me, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then he'll help with the parade on Monday, so, he'll be kinda learning, getting updated. I don't think when he was working, they had Stillman, so he'll be learning Stillman, and some practice changed and times changed, so kinda get him familiar to using some of the programs there. I have contacted Northwoods Tech again, and I get the same runaround on reimbursement. They're working on it. So, I guess looking at everything, we did budget for another full-time person. I guess we'll probably end up having to use some of that money to cover the costs of him going to school. But keep harassing him and bugging him until I get an either yes or no. So, and with that too, I would like to have a budget meeting sometime next month to kind of see where we're at. I know under the circumstances with, Becky and Mary helping us. But I'd like to see kind of where we're at. I kind of have a fundamental idea where my budget is at because Kim's been kind of keeping track for me. She's been working on Jim so he can kind of know where he's at the department. I think it would be a good idea to sit down and pull out the old checkbook and see where we're at and kind of estimate where we're gonna be at the end of the year, so that we can make, our second half of the year, figure out what we're gonna do, what we're not gonna do. So I think that's something we should probably list on the, in the future, maybe before the next board meeting or something. Sit down and kind of see where we're at. So, any questions for me?
No, it sounds good, Kyle, thank you.
Thanks, Kyle. Moving on to sewer,
Any problems at Fur yet?
Yes, Saturday did have a violation and the young folks parked in front of the sign and said no alcohol, and, I showed them the sign and, they said, well, we didn't read it, but, they were surprised because the fine used to be 187. I said, well, now we're in circuit court, it's 263. So one gentleman that was in the group got a citation last year, and he made a comment that, he thinks I'm pocketing the extra money, and I said, no, it's going through, it's 2 different courts, we're not doing it in circuit court. There's more fees involved, and, he's not coming back here, by the way. I said, well, sorry you feel that way, but we have rules, we expect everybody to obey the rules, that's why we have signs posted, so. Oh, yeah, not too much, it was busy Saturday, I was a little surprised how many people we had. Just the one violation, and I had some people yesterday were kind of getting a little, throwing rocks in the quarry, I told them to stop, and they didn't stop, so I picked them up. No, throwing rocks.
Big rocks.
Big rocks.
Good. All right, moving on to sewer and water, Mark.
Consider act on adding CCTV layer for the GIS map by MSA not to exceed 5,000.
Yeah, so you guys know that we ended up getting the whole village finally TV'd and jetted out, so the entire village we have on camera on flash drives and in binders. But we're wanting to get all that information installed onto our mobile map GIS. So then we can go out in the field and actually see the connections and the footages right on our digital map instead of having to get questions and then go back to the flash drive. And Digger's Hotline requires us to locate the sewer and the water for the village. This would just help us out in the field when we get these locates to be able to cut time in half and then also just have all this information that we spend the money on to get actually digitally inputted into our map.
Are we gonna be able to use that to make a map? An actual map?
We
Print one
can
out?
have them printed, we have a water distribution map printed off, we have a sewer distribution map printed off. This would just be another layer added onto those. We can print them off, we just request from MSA and then they print us off a big 3x4 sheet.
Something to hang on the wall, okay, good.
Yep.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
In favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Brent, did you have any updates or anything for?
I didn't have any updates, just I wanted to try to keep it short.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we weren't cutting you off. All right, appreciate it, thank you. All right, streets, sidewalks, ditches.
Monthly update.
Brent and I went out, we located the property pins, on Factory, so we can get ready and start measuring out and figuring out prices for extending the sidewalks that we did last year. As some of you know, or maybe drove by, you seen that, Bridge Lane was pulverized. Last week they came and they paved it. They're gonna have to come back at put a 2-foot shoulder on it. And when that's done, then I'm gonna go in and caper the driveways on that shoulder. Dad, I think it's Pinkham, I'm not quite sure on his last name, from LCC Telecom Services, contacted me about, driveway permit, to get off from, Church Ave onto across the county onto that property. And, he was asking how much for a driveway driveway permit, so I called John Lust, and I think Becky, he's putting something together for that, and he said that it should be $50 for that. So I know there was some, talk about this driveway going in, so if anybody wants to add to
Well, we're just gonna have to make them sign a thing where they're gonna be liable for any damage and reimburse us for it or have it fixed, so.
that. Did you wanna do that? What should I tell them, or are you gonna have something written up?
We're gonna have to get something written up, because if they're taking heavy equipment off the end of that road, it's gonna tear it up.
Yeah.
As well as I do, it's gonna tear it up. So we're gonna have to have something written up, either by the lawyer or whatever, that any damages that happen to the street when they're pulling the equipment in and out of there, it's gonna have to be taken care of, because it's not a street made for that.
What timeline should I give them if this will be done?
I guess let's get a hold of the lawyer tomorrow, let's see if we can get a hold of him, and just see what he seems to think as far as how fast we could get something written up. I'm sure that it's probably nothing too fancy, and it's probably something they might even have a general copy of, so, yeah, so
Becky, are you gonna?
I can give her a call tomorrow and, yeah. No, it's right off the end of Church Street, and they're going,
Cross Bannerman Trail.
yeah, well, not across Bannerman Trail, but to the right of it, so it'd be going to the west, and it just goes over the Redgranite line into the Laurelville, so it's on the Laurelville side, so we have nothing to do or say about the permits or anything for the tower, but them getting in and out, they have to come off of Church Street, and like I said, that street is not meant for heavy equipment, so.
So I'll just tell them in the morning that you are, all what we discussed, and that you are getting something written up, so.
Yep. I'll try and deal with it first thing tomorrow morning, okay?
Thank you. That's all I have.
Consider act on chip sealing roads not to exceed 30,000.
You have in front of you the roads that I highlighted. That are probably the ones that need it the most, and it comes within $200 of the 30,000. Usually 95% of the time when they do stuff, the company does stuff for us under an estimate, it always comes under. Probably, hopefully this is the same thing that will come under, but, so I'm just letting you know that we didn't chip seal last year because we didn't have it in the budget. So these roads have been, cracked out for 2 years now, and they need to get to be sealed. So, I guess I'm just asking for approval if I can do that, and maybe and then you won't do that until July, so maybe I'll change my mind and not do as much and maybe do something else to a road or something, but. We have that in the budget, right? Yes.
Yeah.
You have to submit on that at 30, or can you just?
Motion approved.
Motion, then you'll have to cut off one of these lower numbered ones, the end of the budget if it does.
Yeah, he tells, if oil goes up, he'll tell me, and then we just cut them off.
Okay. A motion to approve item number 2 and scratch the $30,000 limit.
Second.
Try to keep it within your budget.
Yeah, it'll be below.
All right, we got a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Hi.
Opposed?
Thank you.
You're welcome, thank you. Miscellaneous business, consider act on approval of operator's license for Jordan Richardson, Shell Condon Oil, effective May 21st, 2024 through June 30th, 2024.
Was there any issues? Did you do a background check, Kyle, or?
No issues.
Motion to approve. Second.
All in favor?
Hi.
Opposed? Consider act on approval for request from Ashley Meyer, Sunshine Coffee House, to use the green grass area of Quarry Park adjacent to the former Rock House Coffee Drive through for an outdoor yoga class on July 27th, 2024, from 7:30 PM to 8:30 PM.
Make motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Consider act on request for firework permit to Andrea Wilcox at 506 Twin Pines Drive on July 3rd, 2024 through July 6th, 2024.
Make a motion to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Items to be placed on next board meeting agenda.
I have a question on the meeting date, June first. Saturday. It says on the back, next board meeting is June first.
Yeah, that's wrong. It would be the 17th.
17th, okay.
Are you still keeping your board meetings on Monday?
We haven't brought it up to change it, so.
Monday?
I know there was something, there was talk, but I don't think we ever changed it. We were waiting for the meeting, and I believe is what it was, and so we'll have, if it's something that we wanna talk about, we'll have to do it at the next meeting.
Yeah, we're gonna do something with the ordinance meeting, so.
Is that something that needs to be put on the agenda now, or?
Yeah. Not gonna watch it till later.
Is that now?
That's another part you can't close it off.
What's not gonna wash?
We only have one thing to do, right?
No, we had one, but there's a couple other things to bring back up.
And the playground equipment.
Or if not, saying can't go.
The budget meeting for the police.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the rest of the work is open, so.
Yeah.
Thanks for me on that.
What's that? Yeah, flag, the donations for the flags, I got the trailer park issues, there was one other thing that I.
Playground equipment.
So we throw the AMVET flags on.
That can't go on the next meeting.
What's that?
We throw the AMVET flags one on a meeting next week. Like that one?
I was gonna talk to you guys and see if we needed any sort of special board meetings brought up, because, yeah, I think that's probably one that we should maybe tackle.
Yeah.
Fairly soon.
Well, they need the money for the flags now.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly,
okay.
that's
That's
why,
for this weekend coming up.
well, it's,
Well, for the whole summer.
The less
for the whole
than
summer.
And
$1,000,
weekend and
you
summer,
don't have
so,
to have
yeah.
board approved.
Oh. Linda just said,
$999
Thank you.
and 99 cents or less.
it's good to know.
Well,
we'll have to take, we'll have to
putting
pull that out of ARPA funds.
I sure hope
Alright,
that
so
they're getting
are-
funds from the town of Marion too.
are there any other agenda items that anybody needs put on?
Flags.
Alan, any agenda items? Dylan, you're good?
And wanna look at, see if we can find some porta potties, maybe, gonna cost to buy, rent for, for the summer for the board.
Well, wasn't that was on the Cory meeting, so we were supposed to
Yeah,
get some prices
so-
on that, so we'll
We're
just
gonna
leave
end up
that there.
having to do that.
Well, yeah, but- All right, so then I believe everything is good, everybody's good.
Committee appointments.
As of right now, well, I do wanna talk to Ellen, a little bit more after the meeting, but as of right now, I have, Dylan and myself on finance personnel still. I have Gary Redensel and Matt on machinery, garbage ordinances. Tim is on municipal buildings, which I need to get somebody else with him. And then, Park Cemetery, I have Ellen and Gary Redensel. Police and fire is still Tim and Dylan. Sewer water, is Mark and Gary. I'm gonna move him over to sewer and water. And then, street sidewalks, ditches, I'm gonna have, Matt and Mark on that one. And then, I got a couple of things that I gotta talk to people about, just to make sure that they're comfortable with the stuff, and then we'll go from there. So if we're all good, we can make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
We haven't had this many people here in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's nice to see everybody's faces. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Right now, it's me and Dylan, because we were shorthanded for a little while, but